Most LEGO videos focus on the most rare and expensive sets in minifigures, and that's certainly a lot of fun, and I do it myself. But for this video, I wanted to switch things up and look at the more affordable end of things. So today, I'm counting down 10 minifigures that are awesome yet cheap, with every entry on this list coming in at $5 or under. To start off our list, I'm picking the Imperial Shadow Troopers, which sell for right around $5, and for that price they really pack a punch. The Shadow Troopers come with exclusive helmets, torsos, and legs, all in the pearl dark gray color that help them stand out among other Imperial troopers. This version has only ever been released in 2015 in the Shadow Troopers Battle Pack, which also came with 2 Shadow Guards, making it one of the absolute best Star Wars battle packs, especially for the fact that this was back when they only cost $12.99. For a bonus fact, the Shadow Guards of this set are based on the Force Unleashed video game. To me, this makes them even cooler, as LEGO only occasionally makes Star Wars sets based on extended universe content outside of the standard films. Additionally, the darker color scheme just gives these minifigures a cool factor that regular Stormtroopers just aren't capable of, and I'm really surprised that these troopers are still relatively cheap. The second entry on our list is the Batman, based on Robert Pattinson's portrayal of the Dark Knight. This minifigure was given a completely new design for its torso and legs, and it stands out as one of the most detailed Batman minifigures of all time. All of the straps, buttons, accessories, and pieces of armor lining the torso and legs really put a lot of other LEGO Batman minifigures to shame, and makes this minifigure look more like a UCS variant than one available in 3 sets. The cheapest being the Motorcycle Pursuit, which retails for just $15. But if you'd like to save some money by buying just Batman, he will only cost you around $5, which isn't a bad option if you can't afford or aren't interested in the entire sets. The minifigure isn't perfect, as the legs could have been double molded and arm printing would have been incredible, but I can't fault just this Batman minifigure for that, as arm printing is quite rare for the Caped Crusader. Moving on to another member of the Justice League's trio, we have Wonder Woman, specifically this gold version from Wonder Woman 1984, which is a great minifigure in spite of how much of a turd that movie turned out to be. Like the 2 entries before it, this minifigure now sells for right around $5. It is exclusive to only one set that's actually still available on Amazon to this day, well below retail at just $25, in spite of it releasing over 2 years ago. This set, unlike almost any other, just can't sell, reaching lows of $12 to $15 online from major sellers like Amazon and Walmart. I guess people must really hate the movie that much, or just have an extreme lack of interest, or maybe LEGO just made way too many. I really don't know what's going on with this set's availability. Let me know what you think down in the comments, as I don't think it's that bad. The satellite actually looks really cool and has some interesting building techniques, and the gold plates are printed, not stickers, so there's not much to be mad about here. But let's get back to the minifigure. The helmet is an exclusive mold, and those wings in gold have never been released in any other set. Additionally, both the torso and legs are exclusive prints, and to top it off, the head is rather rare as well, as it only ever came with one other version of Wonder Woman. So every part of this minifigure is exclusive or rare, and I think the gold printed armor looks great and could be used for a ton of different customs like Castle or Lord of the Rings. Really, I'm surprised this minifigure isn't selling for $15, and at $5 it's an absolute steal. This is compounded by the fact that, admittedly, the other 2 minifigures in the set aren't great. LEGO wasn't even trying for that Maxwell Lord figure, and Cheetah, at least to me, just looks kind of dumb and off, especially with that mullet hairpiece. Usually when a set has just one standout minifigure, the price for it skyrockets, but in this case with Wonder Woman, it hasn't at all. Overall, the price of this minifigure is just a mystery to me. Before our next entry, if you're enjoying the video so far, be sure to subscribe, as I'm always working on new LEGO content such as other top 10s and top 5s. Next up on our list is the Iron Skull iteration of Red Skull. In my opinion, this is easily the coolest version of this character we've ever gotten. His price is right around $4 to $4.50. He released in 2016 as part of the Iron Skull Sub Attack, which also featured the Scuba Iron Man minifigure, a much more popular and expensive minifigure that led to Iron Skull being overshadowed, and consequently a lot cheaper. But just looking at Iron Skull for his own merit, I think he's a really detailed, great looking minifigure. Admittedly, I don't know the story behind the set, but it looks like he has his own version of Iron Man armor, and I think the red and black color scheme looks really cool, especially with the extra details like the foot printing. For a bonus fact, this is another set that Amazon must just have a major stockpile of, as it was part of the Prime Day sales less than 2 weeks ago, selling for $40, which is only $10 more than its initial retail price of $30. In fact, this set has popped up multiple years in a row as part of Amazon Prime Day sales. If you've noticed this or bought it through Prime Day, then let me know. Moving on, we have Claus Stormward and Captain Jonas as a double entry from the Hidden Side theme. They appeared in the Rex Shrimp Boat and Lighthouse of Darkness respectively, and they both sell for under $3, with Claws being just slightly more expensive of the two. The standout piece for both minifigures is the rain hat that has not appeared in any set since, which is a shame because it's a really useful piece. On top of that, both minifigures were given exclusive torso prints as well. I particularly like the sand green for Claws Stormward. If you like the hidden side minifigures and didn't have a chance to pick them up while the theme was alive, the vast majority of them are still relatively cheap on the aftermarket. Moving into the world of animation, we have Homer Simpson, who you can still pick up for around $250. He released back in 2014, appearing in a variety of different sets. The cheapest version is this one with his round, wide open eyes, which came in the Quickie Mart, Collectible Minifigure Series, and Dimensions pack. Of course his head is exclusive, as well as his torso. I don't mind his plain blue legs as they are accurate, and also uncommon in that medium blue color. Over the years, I've been surprised at just how cheap the Simpsons figures have remained, in spite of how iconic the series is. If you can find a seller with all of them, you could still theoretically buy the entire family for around $12 to $15, as each minifigure has floated around and even below the $3 mark. For the Ninjago fans watching, I've chosen Master Wu from the Master of the Mountain sub-theme from 2020, which I thought was one of the most interesting with all of its sets that were very reminiscent of Dungeons & Dragons and other medieval fantasy tropes. This version of Wu is exclusive to the Wu's Battle Dragon set and comes with a unique armored torso. The legs are also rare in that they only came with one other version of Wu that only appeared in a single set as well. I also like his Asian hat in that dark tan color, and his shoulder pads are a nice touch as well. I'm not a huge Ninjago fan, but Master Wu has always been one of my favorite characters, with Jackie Chan having the best, most quotable one-liners out of anyone in the Ninjago movie. He sells for around $4 to $4.50. Back for another Star Wars entry, I'm picking Luke Skywalker from the Dark Trooper Attack set. Ever since this set's reveal, everyone has been talking about the Dark Troopers included, and in doing so, have totally forgotten about the awesome Luke Skywalker minifigure included as well. The prints for his torso and legs are brand new, and the most detailed we've ever received for Luke's Return of the Jedi black robe style, which I've always thought to be the coolest version of the character. And if you don't have one yet, he also comes with the new style of hood in black, which I still don't think I like quite as much as the traditional Jedi hood piece. Since everyone is trying to amass a giant horde of the Dark Troopers, this Luke sells for as low as $3.35 brand new. For number 2, I'm going with Woody from Toy Story. Upon release in 2019, he was cheap enough as he came in the $10 RC set, but has retained his low price well into retirement, selling for $3.50 to $4, which is great as sometimes desirable minifigures and cheap sets can quickly sell for well over the price of the entire set within just a couple years of retirement. Every part of this Woody minifigure is unique to him. He's one of only a small handful of minifigures that have been given a uniquely molded hair hat combo, and his legs could be used for a ton of different customs. His torso has a ton of bright and fine details as well. For the final entry on our list, I'm going with an Overwatch minifigure, and it was really difficult to narrow this down to just one, as a ton of those minifigures are still surprisingly cheap in spite of how detailed they are and how popular the game is. But for this list, I'm going with Genji. This minifigure has a ton to offer for its $3 to $5 price tag. First, his cyborg helmet mold is awesome, and even if you haven't played the games like me, it's still a really interesting part and could be used for other science fiction, space, or Star Wars customs. His torso and legs are also really finely detailed with all the round lights and armor plates, and torsos in that medium nougat color are pretty rare. The head beneath the helmet is monochrome silver, which is really useful. He was only ever released in one set featuring a showdown with Hanzo, who's another awesome Overwatch minifigure that has stayed really cheap. But I think Genji is definitely the cooler looking of the two, and in general really stands out as a unique minifigure. The only downside to the cheap Overwatch minifigures is that the printing quality for some of the faces was really poor, affecting characters like Mercy, whose face often looks really washed out and almost see-through. But overall, I think the minifigures for the theme are really cool, especially for how cheap they still are. We've now come to the end of our list. Too often we LEGO fans can get obsessed with our rare and expensive minifigures, but I think it's good to sometimes try to appreciate the awesome minifigures that are cheap in our collections as well. Let me know down in the comments what cheap minifigures are your favorites. More videos will be out soon, and until then, see you later.